This is the AB4WS radio show. Every week, bringing you the exciting amateur radio news and information happening in the greater Cincinnati, Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana areas.
The AB4WS radio show can be found on the Apple Podcast app or your favorite podcast application. What would you do? A significant public incident occurs that puts people's lives in jeopardy. The cell phone networks are immediately brought down because everyone is trying to communicate. 911 centers are disconnected because of the outage. Major roads are shut down. Someone is hurt down the street. How do you call for help? What do you do? Well, if you're a licensed amateur radio operator, you probably have the ability to communicate with someone to get the word to the proper authorities to summon help for your injured neighbor. But do you really know what to do? Have you completed any amateur radio emergency communications training to give you the confidence to be able to help your community in this time of need? Well, we all know these situations, even in today's world, can and do arise from time to time, and we must be prepared for them. At the last Amateur Radio Emergency Team of Northern Kentucky, also known by the club's call sign of KY6ET meeting, Matt Allen, Deputy Emergency Management Director for Boone County, Kentucky, spoke to the group about preparing for such an incident. He is working with leaders of the Amateur Radio Emergency Team in Northern Kentucky who are going to participate with 42 other agencies in a huge tabletop drill exercise on August 22nd, which will simulate a huge incident in the Northern Kentucky area, which will test all of these agencies' resources and abilities to handle this unique and monumental catastrophe. These simulated emergency incidents serve as a great training opportunity to learn how to respond in these situations, what the role of, in our case, amateur radio is, and how we can best fill that role in providing a valuable service to the citizens of Northern Kentucky. These simulated emergency exercises go far to illustrate the importance of amateur radio communications. Are you an amateur radio operator? If not, this is a good reason for you to consider getting your license. Are you already licensed and want to become involved in amateur radio emergency communications but don't know what to do or where to go? Well, you too can volunteer to become part of this Amateur Radio Emergency Team of Northern Kentucky. This group can assist you in increasing your training and awareness and bring you into the group. The Amateur Radio Emergency Team of Northern Kentucky has a groups.io group that you can apply for membership. Look for KY6ET. Include your amateur radio call sign in your request to join for quicker approval. This groups.io communications carries the communication on this event and other events that you may be able to help participate in. The next meeting of the Amateur Radio Emergency Team of Northern Kentucky will be on Monday, August 26th at 7 p.m. at the Bethesda Community Church, 989 East Mount Zion Road in Independence, Kentucky. If you are interested in participating in the emergency simulation exercise, you can contact Tim, W4TWL, or email me here at ab4ws.radio@gmail.com, and we can help you get involved, or send a message on the KY6ET groups.io page. Amateur radio can be a real lifesaver. David, K9KHZ, literally took to the air, and I don't mean radio, and did some antenna work at the Bluegrass Amateur Radio Society. He fixed the Mosley beam and realigned it, put up a new rotor, put on the Mesh-tastic antenna, installed a new antenna for the APRS digipeater, installed a 220 MHz antenna, repositioned the Echolink antenna, set up a remote weather camera, and rerouted and hung a new end-fed antenna, and did a general cleanup on both towers, bringing all the HF antennas back in line. A lot of work that was very productive. Great job, Dave. Thanks to the great work of Neil Rapp, WB9VPG, and many others, the Youth on the Air Summer Camp was another successful operation, this time from Halifax, Nova Scotia. While this event certainly was met with many challenges, the team was ready to go, and thanks to the hard work of Neil and others. And special thanks to Neil's wife, Julie, who spent their anniversary at yet another ham radio function. Thanks, Neil. On July 12, 2024, 78-year-old Harry Sparks, KN4S of Lexington, Kentucky, became a Silent Key. He was a longtime member of the Bluegrass Amateur Radio Society and a former director. Our condolences to his family and friends. On July 27th, the David Kalter Memorial Youth DX Adventure will operate a special events using the call sign K3Y, operating from the K3LR contesting station, and will participate in the RSGB IOTA contest as youth operators. Listen out for them and give them a QSO. On July 27th at 6 p.m., the MONIX Group will have a combined North and South meeting at the Forest Park Firehouse, 1201 West Kemper Road, just off I-275 at exit 39 on Winton Road. Because there is limited space and a tour involved, they're requesting that you RSVP either to ride KJ4IAM or Dave Williams. A fantastic event to volunteer for is Paddlefest, where amateur radio operators provide communications for safety and logistics for the big Paddlefest event on the Ohio River. This year, Paddlefest will be held on August 3rd, 2024. There are positions both on the river and on the shore. If you'd like to volunteer for this event, email Rick, KD4PYR, at KD4PYR@ARRL.net. August 10th is the next Brunch Bunch at 1 p.m. at the Lake Nina Restaurant, 7200 Pippin Road in North College Hill, near Banning Road. The Murray State University Amateur Radio Club, K4MSU, announced the particulars of this year's 5th anniversary Kentucky Parks on the Air contest to be held on August 10, 2024 from 1400 hours UTC to 2200 hours UTC. For the particular modes, bands, rules, and all that other important information, go to k4msu.com/KYPOTA. The Air Force Marathon is looking for a few good hams to volunteer to provide communications assistance for the event on Saturday, September 21st, in the area of the National Museum of the U.S. Air Force. For more information or to volunteer, email Bob, N8ADO, at afm.hams@gmail.com. The Milford Amateur Radio Club has started raffles for 2 radios they're giving away. The first is the Yaesu FTM 300DR, and the second is a Yaesu FT710. For more information on how you can win these rigs, go to milfordhamradio.org. September 7th is the Ohio State Parks on the Air event from 1400 hours UTC to 2200 hours UTC. For more information, go to ospota.org. October 18th through October 20th is the 3rd Elmer special event with call signs W1E, W3E, W4E to honor the many hams who have served and mentored new hams over the years.
Repeater news.
N8OXA changed the frequency of the Florence, Kentucky repeater to 443.175 with a PL tone of 131.8, and it's now boasting 100 watts output. Also, the DMR side has been turned off due to an issue where the repeater would go to sleep and could only be awakened by keying up DMR. Since DMR has been turned off, the repeater has been playing perfectly. Check it out. Send your reception reports to ab4ws.radio@gmail.com.
Hamfests.
August 3rd is the Columbus, Ohio Hamfest at the Aladdin Shrine Center, 1801 Gateway Circle in Grove City, Ohio. August 10th is the Cincinnati Hamfest at the Claremont County Fairgrounds in Owensville, Ohio. For more information, see milfordhamradio.org. August 10th is the Letcher County, Kentucky Hamfest from 8 a.m. to noon at the Mountain Shrine Club, 95 Maryland Drive in Whitesburg, Kentucky. August 18th is the Warren Hamfest at the Trumbull County Fairgrounds, 899 Everett Hall Road in Cortland, Ohio, talking on 146.970 repeater. September 7th is the Greater Louisville Hamfest at the Parquet Springs Conference Center, 395 Parquet Springs Drive in Shepherdsville, Kentucky. Talking will be on the 146.700 machine with a PL of 79.7. September 8th is the Findlay, Ohio Hamfest at the Hancock County Fairgrounds, 1017 East Sandusky Street in Findlay, Ohio. Talking on the 147.150 repeater with a PL of 88.5. On September 14th from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. is the Richmond, Kentucky Hamfest at the Madison County Fairgrounds, 3237 Old Kentucky Highway 52 in Richmond, Kentucky. On September 22nd is the Cleveland, Ohio Hamfest at the Cuyahoga County Fairgrounds, 164 Eastland Road in Berea, Ohio. Talking on the 145.410 repeater with a PL of 110.9. The Grant Radio Club has announced the return of the Georgetown, Ohio Hamfest this year on November the 9th from 8 a.m. to 12:30 p.m.
Are you looking to upgrade your license? Do you have someone else that's interested in the hobby? Here are some upcoming exam opportunities.
The Milford Amateur Radio Club holds amateur radio testing on the 3rd Thursday of each month at 6 p.m. at the Miami Township Civic Center, 6101 Meyer Drive in Milford, Ohio. Please pre-register at milfordhamradio.org. The Dayton Amateur Radio Association has exams frequently. For their exam schedule, email exams.w8bi@gmail.com. On Saturday, July 27th at 10 a.m., the Wilderness Road Amateur Radio Club will sponsor an amateur radio license exam session at the American Legion post number 46, 45 Spears Lane in Danville, Kentucky. Pre-register at hamstudy.org/sessions. For more information, contact Harold Miller, AF6MB, at 541-602-6535. On August 17th at 9 a.m., the Dial Radio Club will hold an amateur radio exam session at 6032 Morse Road in Hamilton, Ohio. On August 19th at 5:30 p.m., the Northern Kentucky Amateur Radio Club will hold an amateur radio exam session at the Bethesda Community Church, 989 East Mount Zion Road in Independence, Kentucky. You must register by emailing Mark Falstad, AI4BJ, at MVOLSTAD@TWC.com. On September 14th at 10 a.m., the Westchester Amateur Radio Association will host an amateur radio exam session at the Voice of America Museum, 8070 Tylersville Road in Westchester, Ohio. Please pre-register at hamstudy.org/sessions/WC8VOA. Special thanks to this week's content contributors: ABHEJ, KE4WA, KY4GW, WB8YYS, KD8ZLD, K9HIO, N8LAR, K4NKU.
If you have something you think other amateur radio operators in the area would be interested in, send the information or your recorded audio file attached in an email to ab4ws.radio@gmail.com.
Covering your amateur radio news and information in the greater Cincinnati, Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana tri-state area. This is Jack Prindle, AB4WS in Big Bone, Kentucky.